What it do, y'all? This Lou regardless. We here today. I'm with my homegirl Dany again. Say what up, Dany girl.
What up, Dany girl?
All right, y'all. Yeah, we look a hot mess. We just came from the gym, but we got it in. I was just gonna say, and we got it in. I ain't mad about it. Hey, as long as I got that workout in, we're going up. I think I seen a post today. That said we got 99 days to June 1st, the official start date of summer. So what you gotta do? Y'all know what to do. I always tell y'all the same thing. Summer bodies is built when? In the winter, goddammit. And it's winter right now. This is my homegirl, Dany. Let's chit chat. Let's talk about it.
Okay.
What's your Instagram, TikTok,
Oh, Dany C503.
everywhere?
Or
Dany
I'm gonna come
C-
out with something fresh.
First, we're going to stop her using fresh because she uses it all the time. And that's from when we first met in the 90s. Anyway. No, but you know what? Fresh is coming back because I heard some other corny little food.
It doesn't even matter.
High five. The aunties is here to stay.
We all have our little battles and we all fall off and all of the things, but it's consistency. That's what we're in it for, the endurance.
Right.
Because we're the aunties.
Absolutely.
I didn't even know what an auntie.
And I step outside and I take a deep breath and I get real high and I scream from the top of my lungs, what's going on? And I said, hey, yeah, hey, yeah. I said, hey, what's going on?
All right, y'all. Since Dany want to bring it up, auntie status. Ooh. And you know what's funny is I be watching vlogs and stuff, and young women barely hitting their 40s. What age is auntie? 40? Oh, okay. I've been auntie for a minute, y'all.
You've been an auntie for like grown, I think, is like in your mid-30s. Because by 40, we're almost like, for some of us, you know.
So 35 is the auntie age?
I would say 35. I would say
35 is auntie status, but you calling me auntie?
but they just don't want to call us old. Like, we would have called them like...
Oh.
old.
I remember saying that.
I remember too, like the older women that were knocking the younger dudes.
Anyway.
I mean, but we're at that age, like
It's always been there, yeah.
In your 40s, but see, in your 40s, I think, your 40s, I liked my 40s. I was really loving my 40s until this shit happened.
I you know what, 40s, I loved my 40s too. No, I didn't. My 40s was kind of dry. My 30s was cracking all the way. My 40s was like up and down little spurts.
Well, okay, so when did you get married? How old were you?
35. 36.
Right.
And that's what I said. My 30s was all the way cracking. Like,
right.
Yeah. And then by 40, I got the divorce.
Yeah, and then you went through some things.
And then I went through the bullshit. And now we on the other side.
Yes, yes.
That was a rough 10 years.
Oh, girl, I've had a hard one. I feel like I've been in this.
Look, I'm worried. At least I was free, so I can,
No, I feel like
we all have our different things that we're going through, but I feel like I had a rough 10 years. But my homegirl here had a rough 10 years, and we're finna talk about it. First, we're finna talk about this gym. Now, we went to the gym today. And, you know, I remember being young. I understand what it is, how, you know.
We were at the club.
We basically was at the club.
Straight up. We were at the club. We looked like that.
I love the way you
a time and a place.
Yeah,
Being in the gym, I've been in the gym for 25 years. 25 years. And when we first started, because we first started it together, me and you started at Nelson's Nautilus up on 80, and it was cardio kickboxing.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I was the most uncoordinated. I was always uncoordinated. It's all right. It's that white shit in me. But I'm just saying, I've always been uncoordinated. I'm actually good now because of just.
No, yeah, a lot better. I was watching you on the balance thing, and you were doing really good compared to your normal. Because you've always been a little off balance, like.
Yeah, I've been knocked in the head too many times. Ran into things. Trees. The trees left me. My head, it just.
That's not our topic of conversation today. That's gonna be another one for. That's gonna be our hotels story series. But we're gonna do that another time. What we're gonna talk about today is it's a celebratory. Hold on, let me. I'm gonna sit up for this. Okay. I wanna celebrate. And my homegirl, she drink here and there, but really not. I wanna celebrate her today. Today, we celebrating a milestone. Just because we on our way on into the weekend, we're going to just bring it on in. We're going to be celebrating the whole damn weekend. Not too hard, because you got to make it till Sunday. It ain't official till Sunday. But hey, we finna get... Nah, she ain't going to turn up with me. She too scared.
I am.
She don't play like that.
I don't play with my alter ego.
We do not need Chanel here today.
Oh no.
We're gonna go back to. We're gonna keep Dany on board. We're supposed to clink the glass. Anyway, we're gonna clink. Did you
Let's
take
do
a
it
sip?
appropriate. Yeah, I did.
Oh, I was gonna say
to this new chapter.
this new. How am I doing this or you?
You're in a new chapter of your life too. This new season, sweetheart. Like
Absolutely.
new season. So we're in this new season, right?
Okay, to the new season.
Of being aunties.
To the new auntie season. I should do the other one. Anyway, so like you said, I agree. We're gonna drink to new seasons,
New opportunities.
new opportunities.
New rooms that we will be sitting in and putting ourselves in.
Absolutely.
You know, working together in a synergistic way.
New businesses.
New collaborations.
More bags.
New networking.
Man.
New rooms. Because as long as we are in
look, I'm on high five. We're getting confused ourselves.
Whatever.
Fuck that. Hit this shit. Man. Y'all, it is on tonight. So tonight, we're finna get right into it. My homegirl off paper on Sunday. I'm gonna go ahead and record this now so I can put it out and it'll be ready by Sunday. Because it always takes me a minute to get through my paperwork or to get through my editing.
It's a new season and you're on your shit.
And exactly, because I've been editing my butt off. Yay! Little regardless. Y'all, we're gonna take a quick little break. Let me give you a quick commercial. Please like, comment, subscribe. I'm not good with saying that. I always forget, so all through my video, I'll forget all about it to the end. So right now, I want to just take a break real quick and just say, please like, comment, subscribe.
Like my girl stuff, man. That mentality. Crab
in the barrel.
Yep, they'll just pull you down.
But you know what? I was watching D.L. Hughley, and he said something, and he said, people think of it like that, like crabs in a barrel, but crabs didn't belong in the barrel. The crabs don't belong in the barrel. We did that. We put it into that. So we putting it into our own minds, this bullshit. We hating for no reason. I'm not finna hate on the next. I don't care whose content I see. If I know you, I'ma like you. If I know you, I'm gonna go in there and put a couple hearts in the comments. You know what I mean? It just is what it is. You know what we need. If you see us consistently making content, then you know Oh, she trying to do this shit. Let me support. Let me help her out. That's all we asked him. Commercial over. Now, let's get into the scoop, y'all. Dany girl off paper. Now, our last talk that we had, we discussed why she was in jail. Kinda. But we finna get into the nitty gritty. All right, y'all. Let's go on. Chit chat with us. Dany, what was your charges? No. I'm gonna take y'all back. Let's go for a walk back, y'all. Y'all wanna go, I know. Dany. Yeah, no. We're gonna start first with what the charges were. Just the name of them, not explaining them. Just what charges were you?
That I go to prison for?
Did you go to prison for? Or you were indicted for?
Oh, I was indicted on an 18 count thing.
That's all right.
I took 3. I don't know what those 18 are, but I know what I took. So I took defrauding the U.S. government, identity theft, and wire fraud. So I was a security risk. I couldn't even have email as soon as I got to prison and I had soliciting, so they were. No, you cannot have email privileges.
Ooh.
That's how it was, though.
That's hard.
But I had people that wrote me letters like, you have to, in prison, you have to advocate for yourself because they are going to treat you as if you are what they see on paper. And I saw what I was on paper the other day. On paper, but that's what I was tripping off of. Like,
okay, we're gonna get in there. Okay, so you have 3, or what you went to prison for were
defrauding the U.S. government.
Defrauding the U.S. government.
What Trump is, hit for.
Yeah, same as what Trump got hit for.
Wire fraud.
Wire fraud.
And identity theft. And I never stole any identities. I got all.
And identity theft. She didn't steal identities.
I'm not a thief. I'm a con artist.
You are a thief.
I'm a con artist.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I don't really. I think that fraud is different than stealing.
Let's talk about that. I mean, tell me the difference.
I think it affects. I think it's bad in the sense that it affects like the prices for everybody to have to buy things. It is a form of. I mean, it is a form of theft. But I think it's. I'm afraid. I've always been afraid. I've never been a thief. I'll write.
She got mad at me one day, girl. You know how it be at Walmart. Anyway, allegedly.
Look, you were talking about 10 years. So 9 years ago, I got a phone call at my grandma's because I had moved back. I was in Kansas City. I changed my whole life around because I had to remove myself from here because I'm kind of well known and people always had licks. So for me to change my life, we're talking about 10 years was a rough one. So 10 years ago, I was living in Kansas City. I was really liking my life. I had squared up. I was working at a restaurant, like club type thing in the downtown Kansas City. I really like Kansas City. I put myself in a support group because I'm a hustler, and I got problems, and I got a criminal mindset. Like if there's a way to get over on something, my mind's gonna figure it out. Mm-hmm. It's a blessing and a curse because I'm always But anyways, so I decided that I was 38, and I was like, I can't, and Alexis was 18, and I was like, I can't keep on doing this. Like, what kind of? Because I was a dom, traveling around. Dom, short for dominatrix, also known as, dominatrix. Anyways, so squared up out there. My grandma had to have her hip operated on. And my mom was full-fledged in her addiction. And Auntie was still doing her thing. And I came back. And I didn't expect to be back, but I ended up back. And then like a year after I got back, taking care of my grandma, it was probably less. I got a phone call in the morning, and they said that the feds kicked in old girl's door. And at that moment, my stomach turned, and I had already known. And 2011 was the last time I did taxes, and that's what I went to do. I was a tax person. So in 2011, that was the last year. And then I remember being at a room with some associates, and they were like, "Tito's dead. He's gone. He's gone." But that's
R.I.P. Tito.
R.I.P. But I remember being in the room, and he was like, "Girl, you're not getting enough on this money," and I felt it in my soul. I stopped, and that's what made me go out to Kansas City, because I felt it. You know the movie Heat, when he's like, "If you feel that heat," I felt that heat, and I stopped, and it was a struggle. And then our house got robbed, and the devil is. You got those voices that you hear, and you have to decipher, and you have to use discernment, because the devil knows how to change around voices and put situations in that, And so I got the phone call, and then I just waited, and I knew it was going to come. I knew. And then.
How long did it take from?
A year.
Okay.
They followed me for a year. They'd be at the gym.
Oh, once it happened, okay, tell me this. Because people always put things together later. So
I got the paperwork.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying at the time when it was happening, of course, I'm sure you didn't really, you already knew it was coming. So at all times, you in your mind is thinking that anybody could be the police, probably, right?
Yeah, because you got to remember that back when remember when you cut my hair? That was a terrible feeling, and that is a gnawing feeling in your stomach at all times, that you're just literally in knots, always looking behind you. I'm always in my rear view. Been always in my rear view for a very long time.
They followed you for a year.
They were on my phone. They had checked my whole Facebook. They had a 2,000-page indictment. So once they had the feds on me, I was indicted by the District of Columbia. You can never understand, like, how does it read? The United States government against you.
Wow.
And back then, we ran the numbers. Back then it was when this happened. When it finally happened, the closing rate was 97 point something. But when me and you looked at it, it's 99 because of all the technology. I would never hit a lick or whatever you want to call it in today's day and world. Like, I wouldn't. Like, as far as like all the things that I used to do. So I was walking out of banks,
I already know. This is my homegirl. We've been friends forever. Nice little white girl. She walk into anywhere and get whatever. Go in banks. Bitch, I'm not going to cash no check. They not finna get that to me. Her? Oh, yeah. She gonna talk them the whole time. They like, shut the fuck up, bitch. You're gonna money.
No, I make them feel sorry for it. I always make them sorry. Like, even back in the day when we could do checks. I was doing checks when I was 13.
Allegedly.
No, straight up, I did checks. When I was 13 when I started walking out of banks. Tide and meat. You could go and hit Winco up and then put like whatever, and then 100 extra. But you want to know the good one was New Seasons. Or Fred Meyer's. Remember we had all the
Fred Meyer's, yeah.
The boosters. We would pay the boosters probably with crack. I mean, that's insane. The statute of limitations is over. I'm talking about the fucking 90s.
Absolutely. Never in this day and age. Go ahead. When you was reading that paperwork, this is a question it's a forward question, but it's going to go back.
Okay, go ahead.
When you was reading that paperwork, or when you think about the trial as this going on.
I didn't do a trial. So I
pled.
I pled because I knew they had me. They didn't have me. It was non-accurate. It was... So when the feds have you, they have you. They have you on enough. It might not be accurate, like the money plays. The only way I could have proved that the money didn't all belong to me would have been to tell, and that's what they wanted me to do. And
right.
I ain't saying nothing.
So life without parole.
You pled guilty,
what?
So you just
excuse you?
Time.
Why didn't you say that before?
So these are two questions. First question is, for the time that you pled until the time that you had to turn yourself in, what did that time, how much time did you have, and what did that time look like?
So
Because this is a whole year you already been anticipating this shit. Now the shit finally happens.
Okay, so how it happened is talk about a tough year. So I knew it was coming. My dad had to have his heart operated on, and I was his care person. And I got indicted. They finally indicted me. And they indicted me 1 week after my dad had his heart surgery. And I couldn't even tell him.
They're here!
Sir, I'm just here to deliver a
The
package.
fans are here!
He had AFib. Like,
I was just gonna say, just like what my mom just went through.
Yeah, so that's
like, you can't have no problems because you're gonna go into a fibrillation. So, yeah. Oh my gosh.
And so
Were you living with him?
Yeah, I was his caregiver.
I know, but I'm saying, but you lived there?
I was in the room with him 24 hours a day as soon as he had his heart because he couldn't pay for a nurse. So I was
like me over here being cared for.
But not even that. He was worse. I had to be in the room with him. So me and my dad had his hospital bed, and I was on this little teeny bed, and I've watched so much war stuff and so much fucking history
Westerns?
stuff. Not really westerns. History. He liked history. And so I was taking care of him, and I got a hit, and I was so sick. And I was so sick, and I waited until Kelly knew. Kelly and me were really good until after my dad died, and I don't mourn the same way as her, and people are very judgy, and Kelly has always been very judgy.
Gotcha.
So I knew they dropped the card over at Teron's house, and I had left him.
What does that mean? Drop the card.
They gave a card.
Okay.
How
Okay.
it happened is they dropped
off the
card,
business
and I had
card.
advocates because I was working with the Cupcake Girls. I love them. Shout out to the Cupcake Girls. So I was working with them, and I was doing advocacy. I was trying to, when I first got back out here. Prior to that, I was trying to do like outreach because out in Kansas City we would go to the track. Track also is
the host track. The track,
the drugs, just whatever.
everything.
So we were doing hygiene. So I'd go out there and drop off hygiene. So I wanted to do it back out here, but I wasn't networked, and I wanted to. I'm very good at networking, but I didn't know who to network with. Mm-hmm. So in order to get in the room, you at least need to know who you need to, like. So I didn't know, but. They supported me, so I got the card, and then I had a meeting, and then they were like, oh, they had my taxes from 2011. They were like, is this you? I was like, it looks like my thing. He was like, so did you do your own taxes? And I said, yeah. And he said, have you done anyone else's taxes? I said, at this time, I think I need legal representation. People that do the charges that I was
Don't get elected, it's going to be a bloodbath for the whole. That's going to be the least of it. It's going to be a bloodbath for the country.
And white privilege and all of that shit is a for real fucking thing, especially in the justice system.
Until they know that you fuck with only black people, or the majority black, because they gonna give you that privilege until you show them differently. Yeah. So they look at everybody should have did taxes for is black. All the niggas she ever fucked with, every case she's ever been involved in has got something black with it.
So when they talk about, remember when Sally Sell
threw her to the curb.
Look, you remember when Sally Sell talked about G-files? That shit is for real. Anytime you get pulled over, whoever you're with, any kind of a person that you are ever with is on your G-file.
Right.
And so, I mean, they looked at my file and...
Let's just say
I'm gray. Like, it's gray. I mean.
Okay. So, with that being said, when you think about after your dad had his surgery, moving forward.
So I get hit. And I'm on pretrial, and I had already got a DUI right before that because I knew I was hit. I was so stressed. I was so stressed.
Hell yeah, of course, anybody would.
And at that time, I was still using alcohol as a crutch. So I, for the better part of my life, have had a problem with alcohol. And like I do, like I'll drink, and this is celebratory and everything, but it's not, I don't drink, I don't drink like how I used to.
Oh no, this is my drinking buddy. What the hell?
Like, ooh, no,
Man,
I'm not good for myself. But
it'd be
if
like
I'm not
one or two, and I'm proud of her. How long were you?
I didn't drink at all. I had over 6 years, no alcohol.
Wow, 6 years. That's amazing.
Like, cause I'm a bougie one. I wasn't drinking no Pruno.
Hey, Bunky, I'm gonna make some pruno, man. You want to throw in on it?
Oh, hell yeah.
All right, just save your fruits from chow.
I got you, no doubt.
All right, for sure, then. I got you.
Oh yeah, but no, hell nah.
The smell. I was doing treatment because I got a DUI. I was a train wreck. I was so depressed. Mm-hmm. So I was so depressed. I was getting ready. I had already changed my life around. And the fact that someone that I considered a sister, that her kids called me auntie, would tell on me.
So
that shit hurt.
How did you know that part, though? You already knew who it was who snitched on you before you even got the paperwork or went to the thing?
So what had happened?
And are we name dropping today?
We can name drop. I don't care.
Ooh.
So,
we
so 2011, I was done. So I did. That was the last year I did it, and I stopped.
And so, what was it exactly that you were doing? Let everybody know.
I was one of the Portland tax girls. I was probably
How much did you get indicted for?
I got charged with $1.2 million, but they said I was the leader and an organizer of $5 to $6 million tax filing scheme.
Okay. Big Dany girl. All right.
That was only my seasonal hustle because I was going to.
I'm done.
I keep it consistent.
You heard that shit? That wasn't that. That's just my seasonal shit. That's all I got. Anyway, we're gonna go back to that. No, I met you there. We were meeting up there.
Yeah, and that was the night that Markel.
I'm gonna find that picture and put it up here. Yes. Mm-hmm. We was outside in the back. Okay. Remember, I don't know if you remember, but we was outside smoking. We talking. We kicking it. Everybody. It was a bomb ass night actually there. And so it was kind of cool, everything going on. And I'm like, what is going on with her? She's so antsy. Like, I never seen you so charged up. And I didn't know what was going on. Everybody else knew. I didn't know. You got into it, when he started yelling at you, you was like, nah, tell that bitch to come through. Because you started going off like, tell the bitch to come on. Tell the bitch to come up here.
Okay, because like 2 weeks before that, the bitch. Okay, so backing up to so we can explain who the bitches are in the story. Well, hey man, however.
Now, first of all, next, can y'all please like, comment, subscribe? Go on in the comments. Just give me a heart. If you paid attention this far, give me a red heart. Anyway. You were telling us about the night we was at Calamity Jeans.
Okay, so the females. So what had happened was I had
and revealed
when I did it, it's like a pyramid thing.
How to identify a pyramid scheme.
So I had
the top of the pyramid is usually a person or a team whose main job is to recruit people below them, and those people under them are promised big profits if they can recruit more people.
I forgot we was giving names. Even though just a minute ago I knew it was coming out, I didn't expect.
So she was one of my runners, and I had fucked with her for years, like 4.
Yeah.
And so, because before that, I had done Texas for years.
Right.
Just different groups.
Yeah.
And so, when I quit, so in 2012, she tried to replicate what I was doing. She didn't know what the get down was, so she thought what we were doing is earned income fraud. So, of course, with the kids, right? Mm-hmm. So she didn't know how to do it, so she tried to do some fake W-2s or whatever. And so when she got hemmed up, because she had all the information from the people that she had done, or that she sent to me, because she was the middleman.
Mm-hmm.
And I would pay her, every time that she would bring people to me, I would pay her depending upon how many kids that she brought me. Back then, like so what it was is that it was a hustle, and the way that I was raised in the game, it was halves with me.
Okay.
Like, so as far as fraud type shit, it was half. So I was getting back if they had 2 kids, it was 8 bands. So I would need 4 off the top, and then out of my money, I would pay my runners because I had multiple runners.
Okay. How much do you pay a runner to bring you a person?
Well, her, I was paying her good because she was bringing me a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
So I was paying her. I mean, I was giving her like per a kid. I would give her probably like 2 per kid. So if she brought 2 kids, it would be 400, and then she just brought me the names. I ran it. Whatever she had worked out, she worked out, and whatever mine was just consistent.
Let me make sure I understand. Okay, so depending on the kids, you give her 200 a kid. So,
just for bringing the people to me, because she was my runner.
Right. So if she bring you a person who has 1 child, then she get 200. If she bring you a person with 4 kids, she get 800.
I wouldn't have. Well, most people split. Yeah, because I would have had to move the kids. That's where the identity thing.
That's where the identity thing.
So I didn't.
That's what I wanted to get to.
I didn't do. I had all the information. I didn't steal no one's nothing.
They gave
Everyone
it to you.
willingly, and even like.
But did they willingly allow you to use their child on somebody else's shit too?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. No, I'm just saying. I don't
That's
know.
why when you heard the terminology of tax season selling your kids.
Yeah, no, I get it. I'm just.
Yeah, no, I got it for all intention video. Yeah, so it was the kids are worth something at tax season. These and especially the females that do it, not necessarily.
So if I'm gonna ask some questions about this. So let me give you a couple scenarios, and I know you can ballpark it in your head. I'm a mother of 3.
Okay.
I've worked Nordstrom Rack or something.
Well, see, that's the difference.
No, I'm saying I was gonna ask you a couple of different scenarios.
Okay.
So and let me finish my scenario. I'm not gonna give you like a whatever. Hold on, because I know it's gonna be people who are you're making up incomes for.
Oh, that's all I dealt. I didn't deal with people that had jobs.
Oh, you never worked with people who had jobs.
I dealt with.
Well, how would you get that?
So I would.
Okay, sorry about my criminal mind. I thought that's how you got the extra W-2s for the next person.
I didn't use W-2s at all.
Oh, the other girl tried it, and that's how y'all got
she
fucked
hemmed
up.
So I did it.
Gotcha.
I had been doing that shit for a long time.
Okay.
So I had been doing it for a long time. She got herself, Letitia, got herself hemmed up. And so, what did they call her? I forgot what they called her, but I got pictures. She's in some. I kept even on Facebook.
If she finds them, we're gonna post them.
Even on Facebook, those people, because I've known for a long time that I was gonna write a book.
I can't wait to promote your book. I can't wait to
I
promote
remember
that
telling
book.
you that I was going to write a book when we were
Before
still in Vegas.
you did.
We were still in Vegas.
She was just hoeing in. Just a that's 2. No, I ain't even gonna say 2. I'm gonna say her. If she really put her mind to it, I can think of succinct 4 novels, like chapters in her life that I was with her in. That I can, I really wasn't in the last one, but I'm glad to be back in her life. So I see that one. But I also see 3 other chapters of different parts of us together. where I could see different books. I could see 4 books, and I know you got more because if I could see 4, me and you wasn't around each other for what, 12 years?
When I got out of prison, do you know how many people were mad that I did not write a book? And really thought that when I was in prison that I had no other time but to write a book?
Why didn't you?
Because I worked on me.
I get that, but that's the perfect time while you're doing it.
Time, like my time went by fast. I had peace.
Yeah.
I had peace. I had
What
to
it-
change my life.
Okay, I don't want to go there yet. Hold on, because but I do want to come back to that. No, I'm gonna go there, and I'm gonna go back because you know sometimes when you say that you never go back, and I hate to lose that moment. What did it feel like to have that silence in your head? Like I know
silence in my head. I have always had a problem finding silence in my head because I do have ADHD. I do have major trauma from life. My head is exposure for bad things to happen. Like 2 years ago, I couldn't even stand up straight. So when we talk about like even balance and my cognition, that is a result of sustained head trauma over the years. That is just, you know, and I still
thank you,
deal
Lord,
with it.
for keeping her right.
God has done that because the devil keeps on putting things. And so, like, even with, okay, so we'll go back to Letitia. I knew I had heard first when I was in Kansas City that she got hemmed up.
Okay.
And that she had told her whatever. I was like, the bitch doesn't got nothing on me. So, like, what? You, like I never had any, I never had none of her people's, how it would work is, okay, so there was, like I said, if you had 2 kids, you would get 8,000, you would get 4 bands back.
Okay, so let me, before we get there,
okay,
or I mean, while we're here,
okay,
I was gonna give you some scenarios of different things.
Okay, go ahead,
and
sorry.
you said
I dealt with pimps, players, hustlers, hoes, strippers.
Okay, and so because earned income credit for a child is because of income.
I would look at the female, and this is a bad judgment call, and this is how I did it, though, and I'm socially incorrect at a lot of things. But if they looked like they could be a hoe, they were a hoe on their taxes. If they looked like they were oversized, they were a house cleaner. And if it was a dude, they did landscaping. That's how I did it.
So they all were entrepreneurs. On paper.
Entrepreneur is a new word. Everyone wants to be an entrepreneur.
So what was the call back then?
Self-employed.
Oh, okay, self-employed, same thing. Okay.
Same thing, not really.
But
Because
not
when
really.
I think of entrepreneur nowadays, I just have to clarify that
You think of money.
Everybody says that they're an entrepreneur. Not everybody is an entrepreneur.
You is not lying, girl.
Like, for real.
You is not an entrepreneur.
And I'm not into like really talking negatively on anyone, because if they believe that, then by all means go get it. But don't put that as your title if you're not really about that life. Just saying.
These entrepreneurs really be thinking they preneur in something because they lost their entre.
Well, hey, like there's women that are really actually prostitutes, and then there's prostitutes.
Not prostitutes. What's a prostitute?
I mean, they want to act like they're really hoeing, but they're not. They got a boyfriend that's their pimp, and they're doing like all the things. I mean, like girlfriend experiences. Do you know what a GFE is?
No.
But that's for a different day.
What is it?
Girlfriend experience. That's what these prostitutes or whatever you want to call them. Sex workers.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
What's a girlfriend for a day like to the
girlfriend experience? Like if a dude gives you and typically it's a low amount of money. Let's not talk about this because
I just want that one. I gotta ask that question because now you put it in my head. I'll never remember that again. What the fuck is a GFA?
GFE, girlfriend experience. That means that the sex worker will kiss the client, and sometimes not even use condoms. Like that means a bareback blowjob or bareback BB.
Oh, that's okay. I get it. girlfriend experience. So you acting like you really the girlfriend.
Yeah, but I think that here's the thing.
What does that go? Okay.
I think that like if you sell yourself, and that is a broad term, that is a blanketed. If you sell yourself, if you're around anyone that you don't necessarily want to be around for the gains of financial purposes, you're hoeing. It's just different levels to it, and there's different devils to it, and people have different names to it, because a girlfriend experience, a prostitute, a street worker, a gold digger, all of them are the same thing.
I don't agree with that, but we're going to talk about that. But keep on going. I want to hear your version, though. I want to hear your version. I'll tell you mine.
I just think that if a woman...
Because me and you have had this argument for years. This been my friend for years. So ain't nothing she could say that's going to hurt my feelings, and ain't nothing I can say going to hurt hers. If it do, y'all won't know about it. But anyway, me and her have had this discussion for years, because I will not lie. When back in the day, we both lived in Las Vegas.
Oh, she would never go.
My quick little side is this. This is my friend. I didn't give a fuck. And I had her back. She had mine. On licks, on hustles, on everything. We work. We always. Hey, if I can help you get out there and be able to get your story out, and the story of other people who go through the same similar things.
And ultimately, for me, I just believe that as long as you, despite whatever your situation is, if you can find an outlet, whatever dark room you're in, you can. If you find an outlet to put your energy in, you can light up that room. And lighting up that room is taking yourself out of whatever prison and whatever limitation and whatever fear that you're on. And that's why I do like the crazy stuff, like jumping out of planes. That is to, for me, because I've overcame so many things, I have to set these challenges. That's why I do it. It's all about overcoming. So the only way for me to overcome is I have to challenge myself. And I challenge myself because it's inside of me and my own personal goals and achievement. So like for me,
I love that.
I feel fear, and I feel like fear is a spirit of the enemy. Is the who you look at in the mirror is the only person that's capable of stopping you. The enemy can assume position in people, places, and things, and they don't even know. I know I've been a blessing, and I also know I've been a curse. So it's whatever that you're putting your faith into, whether that be God or whether that be whatever idols. Because me, I've looked at idols. Money is an idol. Men are an idol. The gym can be perceived as an idol, because that is where I started idolizing. The challenges. I got into the gym. It originally started because I had gained all the weight because of Prozac and all of the things. That's why I got into the gym with you. Because at that time, I had left a toxic relationship, and I was on Prozac, and I was comfortable. So meanwhile, my life was disintegrating. I was on these pharmaceuticals that put me in a different spectrum. It was like a drowsy.
Wow, that's zone. Back in that.
And that era, and then they would talk about, well, you just need to let it get into your system. You need 90 days.
I could never do 90 days. Yeah, I could never.
And I have been on Prozac.
It would fuck me up. I couldn't do Wellbutrin. They try to give me that so many times because of smoking. They say it helps you with smoking. None of that shit I can never do.
That's the pharmaceutical industry, and we can talk about that at a later time.
Yeah, because I
found the gym, and I have used the gym as an idol. I have put all my faith in how hard I could train myself. And I've put my
You tight though. You do have some. This is my homegirl. We've been friends since
1998.
Is that the year? No, that's the year we moved to Vegas.
But
we've been friends since 90.
I met Dupree in 98.
And you met me before you met Dupree.
I didn't like you.
I know, but it don't matter. You still met me
But
before
we
you
were
met me.
friends.
It don't matter. You met me before
I know
you
who
met
you
me.
were because you were a factor in the
She
town.
knew who I was because I was a factor in the motherfucking deal. Anyway, yeah.
I was a factor, just not on a positive. I was like, I can't white bitch that thinks she's tight. But I was.
Y'all, it's so funny. She did not at all like me. But first, I want to introduce her, and then I'm going to tell y'all why she didn't like me. Because it's a funny story, and we're going to get through it quick. But,
there's so many funny stories. We got so many.
So many. I love you, boo.
I love you too.
I'm so glad that, you know, life took us different ways, and then we still end up coming back together. And
Because you're my sister.
sister, hard for real. This I could never get rid of you in my heart, my mind, my soul.
I had only heard about you, Tennessee. Okay, so my baby's dad he is mentally challenged for real. And
Okay,
documented.
so
what
yeah,
is the correct word?
mental health issues.
Well, I have those too, but I'm not.
Some people's are more severe than others.
Okay. We're creators. We were creating shit back then.
I've been creating shit before I knew what a creator was.
I didn't know that I was an influencer until Lexus told me what an influencer. Because there were certain things. Okay, so I was in prison. So
That's what I meant. Okay, so let me say that over. I didn't know I was an influencer until I understood what an influencer was. Because for me, I've been an influencer since, well, I used to be a hairstylist, so obviously I was an influencer.
You were a creator. You were creating back then.
No, I was an influencer back then.
No, but you were. But
I was
you
both.
Were more
I was
so
both.
creative, because influencing you were using your creative influence. You didn't. There was nothing back then.
That's what I said. They was both creative influence because. This bitch walked down the street. They like, damn, who did your shit?
But I want to say that like it was at a different level.
It was, of course it was.
Because now it's a saturated market. Back when it was, you were an innovator. You were more so like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
No. I totally get it. But I'm saying like back then, I didn't know what I was doing, and then I just did what I was doing.
Living out your gift.
Exactly.
And you're living your best life. It was the 90s. Like, can you show some pictures back like then?
You know what?
Before we were aunties?
I'll throw a couple.
Okay. That's around the time that I had first.
Oh, because everybody heard of me because I did Snoop's hair.
that, and then you did Tennessee's hair.
No, at that time I hadn't did Tennessee. I didn't even know Tennessee yet. This is when I was on Alberta. I didn't meet Tennessee till I was on MLK.
And I remember that one. I remember.
Yeah,
okay.
I was on 23rd in Alberta.
So that's when okay. So
and I had a shop over there, and it went through the town. Snoop was at losing the rubber tubes.
Right. Like, I can't even honestly get upset because I don't qualify for grants because of the fact of I don't qualify.
Right.
And I can't be mad because as being a white woman, always having black friends, always for the better part, like even Park Rose, like I graduated from Park Rose. I have been called every single name that you've been called with a lever at the end of it. Believe that.
I believe that.
And it's like, so I have an appreciation because of my lived experience. Because lived experience comes into everything that we go through. Same as prison. I had already been an advocate. I had already been an advocate prior to going. And I had never known the justice system. I couldn't advocate for women. I couldn't support criminal reform because I had never been through it. But as being like through the criminal reform system and the federal government, they will wash you up, and they will because you're only a number, and you come down to some money. And where I was housed, $89,000 a year to house me in the federal prison. to house, and these numbers are old. I don't even know what they are currently. I think that we ran the numbers and it was like 100 and something. Let's say 100,000. I know that Dublin, where I was at, housed 1,200 women in the federal on where I was at. I was at the FCI part because they also have a camp part. It's a satellite camp that they house like 100 and something, 100 and some change. But for 1,200 women, it's over 100,000 a year to house them, and they're not helping them. Housing and helping are two different things. So when you talk about the justice system, as far as really just helping these women that have been impacted, because every single woman I had came in contact with had been subjected to some sort of violence. Every single one. And I came in contact with a lot of women.
I bet. Because you was doing all the exercise and all that stuff.
I was exercise. I ran the wellness thing. I was a suicide watch cadre. I was a mental health companion. I was the things. And I went into the facility with means to try to help women. That's why I went there. I had already changed my life around. Because could you imagine if I went to prison in my 30s? It changed my life around, and that made all the difference for me. Because if I was still in the game and I went into prison, and I had already, when I turned myself in, I did what a surrender is. So most people that are in prison already start out in some sort of county facility. Most people that go to prison have already been in, like, we would say Inverness or down at the Justice Center or whatever. So they already know people, right? I turned myself into a federal facility out of state, and I was the only person from Portland at that time. Like you said, they tell you where you're going and when you're going.
Okay, that's what I'm asking.
I did a self-surrender, so I was white collar. So this is white privilege. This is where white privilege comes into play, right? Because if I was black, or if I would have been charged with something of like that socially on the numbers wise as far as the federal government, because believe me, they know what the percentage of every crime is. They know what the percentage is. They know that pedophilia, like, they know that is a white, that is a white crime, period. That is
not period, but it is.
Well, period. Well,
I mean, the white spectrum dominates that.
yeah.
Yes.
I mean,
just if you sell powder or
crack,
hard,
exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
They know
and
how
the difference
to
is,
target shit.
Because they're going off of they have all of the numbers.
Right.
It's all that synergistic approach, right?
What up, Barbara? My homegirl Barbara, she started working in the shop, and that was my ride or die. She taught me so much. I love you, Barbara. And me and her still talk all the time, like here and there. Not like all the time, but here and there.
But those are those good friends that it doesn't matter how long.
Yeah, exactly. Tennessee playing around. Ask Barbara. I want to grow my hair, but shit ain't acting right. My hairline fucked up. What should I do? And Barbara was like, I don't know if she asked me. I don't know if he asked me or if he asked her. But we all just, we was all kicking it. We all be feeling, had a good, we used to have a night, we used to kick it at the shop. I ain't gonna lie.
Hold on, you have to kind of describe the shop though, because.
You tell me what you thought of my shop or what you seen
when you see the show Barbershop, smoking, drinking, pimping, hoeing, boosting.
The shop was cracking.
Right.
So many of I had so many clients going on to Jerry Springer all the time.
Oh God. Yes. Whatever happened to him?
I have no idea.
Whenever I would travel, and I've always traveled, when I say I'm from Portland, they would be like, "Is your dad a farmer?" And I'd be, "That's not a matter of fact," but that would be like a catch point because my dad really was a farmer.
But you white. But you white. You know what I'm saying? That's the question. They go. If I was with you, they wouldn't be asking me that.
They ask you why your English is so proper.
No, they ask me if my English why you talk like that. But they also gonna ask me, is there other black people out there? That's always.
It's always because Portland is not perceived as that. What is the black population in Portland right now?
I think it's 3.3%. All right, child. That's the end of part 1. Part 2 will be coming out real soon with the rest of this interview and conversation. Thanks. These some old pictures from back in the day. Hope you like them. And don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, hook your sister up. All right, deuces.